BFS. Stuff and things. I'm not even using a background today, man. I'm going to go raw dogging it. Brian is apparently getting struck by lightning while stuck in the dryer while being attacked by the Kraken. So he's having some issues, man. But he's here in spirit, or hopefully he will be in not spirit pretty soon here. But I figured I'd yap about some things because I like to yap, let's be honest. And I've got my phone out to see what's going to happen to him eventually figuring out life and love. His last message, very, very hopeful. He just says he hates this day. So, I mean, sometimes things happen. Kablammy. You know what we do have, though? Woos! The mic is still set to mono channel. There's no way. I was just rocking this, rocking off. Oh, that is true. I got to call you, Andy. I was at the doctor's when you called, by the way. I kind of forgot. There's no way my mic's set the mono. I'm going to listen to myself. He just says he hates this day. So, I mean, sometimes things happen. Kablammy. That's so weird because I was the one in stereo yesterday when we talked. This someday, some way. Let's see my audio input. Let's check on it. It is the Scarlet. It is all of the good. I don't understand. I don't know. That's so weird. Let me check. Let me talk to myself, my sultry voice. Yesterday? Yeah, John was the one that wasn't in stereo, and I was the one in stereo. If anybody knows how to fix this, that'd be great, because I was stereo and John was not last time. Apparently, I am the problem now, and I don't know why. I can't tell you, because I don't know how to do shit. Internet computer won't connect to phone. That is a sad, sad thing. But let's look at Logan Grimnar. You know what I like? Logan Grimnar. Not in Santa Sleigh, which I kind of always hated, to be perfectly honest. He's a badass. He's in Terminator armor. He runs in Terminator armor, and he's awesome. Yeah. Logan Grimnar's been around for centuries, bro. He's supposed to be a bad motherfucker. He's got the wallet. He's definitely got the wallet that says bad motherfucker on it. Also, hold up. Bling. Oh no, I gotta get the... It should bobble. Even my moo cow is not bobbling. What is happening with today? Brian's got internet problems. I have cow bobblehead problems. Ugh. Also, I got the delay on too long. This is making me sad. 370 points and he makes intercessors rear one. Dude, if they do you don't do Logan dirty. Also, they better not do Lehman dirty when he comes out. Blue Space Wolves, I have no idea whether these are blue or gray or what they are. I mean, they look Space Wolvie to me. They're not going to do him dirty, Eddie. Do not put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. You know what? You're even getting that. Is it on this? Phew, I'll be mad. Bam! Don't you put that evil on me. Had to scroll up there for a second. Got all angry. Logan L. Johnson. Jesus, he got done terrible. That was some bullshit. This model's badass, though, dude. I mean, you guys apparently, I mean, the color, it might be a little different. Also, this boom mic is literally directly in my way of me seeing what I'm talking about, which is kind of driving me crazy. But this dude can't go through roads? There's no way. Dude. How about Arjack, though? Come on. You know you like Arjack. Also, I love the fact that he just chucks Mjolnir at people, and I don't care what they pretend to name his hammer. It's 100% Mjolnir, and that's what Arjack's throwing at people. Also, it used to be way cooler when, hold on, I'm going to tell me you're not old without telling me you're old. When you used to be able to insta-kill people because your strength was double their toughness. Old R-Jack was strength 10 and could Donkey Kong people, and it was fantastic. I mean, he looks badass, dudes. They have actual rules of this out yet? Or as all I saw looking at was the pictures because, I don't like the reading thing. I'd rather just go with the pictures. So, bam. Also, you got my boy throwing down in the jaw. Pew pew, lightning. Psst, ah. Yeah, that was effects right there. Just throw in your own effects. I can't even talk today. Whatever. I'm still waiting for Brian. I think this looks cool as hell. I liked him before, anyways. I'm going to rant for just a second on why the fact that there's not a psychic phase, which would make this dude even cooler. I kind of hate my psychic powers being either in the shooting or other phases. Just give me a psychic phase. I mean, it looks cool. The tiny old model was badass, though. Fenrisian tokens. All right. Are Wolfguard and Wolfguard Terminators going to be good? That is the question, my friends. That is the question. Because I want them to be awesome. And I hope they are awesome. Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold the phone. I don't know why he just sent me this in a text. What are you doing, Brian? Oh, my God. Do. Are these guys going to be good? I mean, I think they look... Oops. Why are they... They look cool. I like the axe poses quite a bit, actually. You gotta go with the chops, though, dude. That dude's badass. Someday, some way. I don't know. These guys look pretty badass. Autocannon. I mean, this dude, Power Fist. Is that an autocannon? Because I don't even know what it is, but it looks sweet. No, hold the phone up to my camera. Assault cannon. Why could I not think about that? Jesus. Deathwing terms suck. I mean, Deathwing Knights don't suck. I think that's a big thing on that. So, give me 1 second to try to find Brian. And then I'll come back. But there's a lot to be on that. You know what I mean? That's a thing with the stuff and the thing. Let's join a Google meeting. I'm about to join a Google. We are fishing Brian out of the warp. I'm going to ask to join. I'm going to join the call when someone lets me.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, we got a wild Brian.
Yeah,
Huzzah!
sorry, my internet's being crabby, so I'm on my phone.
Hold on, I gotta add you in some way, somehow. Let's move this meeting over here. Let's find out what we can do with you. Only you can prevent forest fires, Brian. Only you.
Yeah, or stardom, one of the two.
I have a good story about that for everyone to tell you how much of an idiot I was even when I was a child. I saw that this is going back forever, of course, because I'm an old man. But there we go. We got a Brian. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Sorry for the bad sound and picture, but I'm on my phone because my internet's being crabby.
Dude, we still love you. We feel the love.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to allow picture in picture, apparently. What the hell just happened? No, I don't want to allow a picture. What the shit is going on? Screw you, Google Meets. I don't know what the hell's happening here. No, I don't want to do that at all. Oh, this is killing my soul. What are you doing? This is the worst.
Look,
Ah!
yeah, get to work. I'm so sorry.
Oh, what is even happening with this? Someone tell me how Google Meets works. Google Meet tools? I don't want a tool. I am a tool. Ha ha! But I really want this to not keep making you small. There we go. Okay. Okay. All right, let's guys, we're gonna no problems here whatsoever, I swear. This is working perfectly.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, good stuff. My
Uh,
internet perfectly fine in the middle of nowhere.
no, I mean, what's happening to you? Where are you? What's happening? Why have you
So
not?
I'm in my games room. My internet is being super crabby and doesn't want to connect, and my computer does not want to connect to my phone. So
I don't like
this is what we got.
I don't like anything about this. Oh man.
Neither do I. This is the best I could do. I was getting a little yelly
I,
at the
I
house.
literally can't leave this window. This is fucking pissing me the fuck off. If I leave your window, it minimizes you on the screen.
That's all
It's
right. They don't need to look at me. I'm not that attractive.
ah, you know what? You're getting just audio. You know what?
That's
Sorry, everyone. We're going back. You get a Windows capture, and you get Gasgul. Oh man, I'm so angry at this. What happened here? What even happened?
technology is our friend, Brad.
It is not.
No,
It's
it's
a
not at all. No.
it's a lie. This is madness. Hold on. I got my chi back together. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm ready to talk about things and or stuff. Do we at least have volume? You know what? We're going to talk about this. Happened. Why am I also only in
Technology is our friend, Brad.
Why am I in one ear also? What is going on today?
I'm telling you, it's the day. Technology has hated me all day long.
You know what also happened? I'm going to do a random bitch on this. So BCP, I paid for it twice. And for whatever reason, it says I don't have a subscription. So I can't look at other tournaments right now and pull them up. And I can't look at my past results. And
No.
I messaged them and they said, what do you need? And I said, this. And here's my receipt for payment. And they said, nothing. Well, hopefully they'll get back to me. But let's talk about the meta for the weekend. So,
yes, because that is what I would love to be looking at on my screen, but it's not working.
that happens. Sometimes they do stuff and things. Orcs won a bunch of stuff. They had a 50% win rate. They won a bunch of events. They lost their big dog thing. And I think they're really good.
As we said, yes, DACA was really amazing, but they were still a good faction without DACA.
I love everything with Zooms. This is the Imperial Agent of streams. I also don't know why I'm in mono, to be honest with you. Like, I was making fun of John. We did our Q&A yesterday for the 40K Lorecast. Went very well. Of course, it broke in the middle of it because, reasons. But I was the one in stereo and John was the one in mono. And I don't know why I'm currently in mono. I couldn't tell you because my input is delightful. And it says it's fantastic even. Fantastic! But let's go back.
So we got the meta with Orcs winning 50%. We both said, even after they fixed DACA to be normal, that we thought they were fine.
Yeah.
If
anybody in stream could tell me how to fix that, I do not know. I don't know why this is streaming in mono or whatever. I've never had that problem before. I also have a lot of expensive. The only thing expensive I have is my audio to try to make things happen. You sent me a message that possibly could fix it. It is. Are you? Did you send me Messenger? Did you send where? Where did you send it to? Hmm. Let's peruse all of the ways that I could possibly have gotten a message. Discord? Aha! How now, brown cow? But tell me what you think about orcs. Actually, we got two things I want to go over. Tell me what you think about orcs. Tell me why knights keep winning tournaments.
Knights keep winning tournaments because I didn't want to admit this, but after talking a lot about it, and this is gonna make somebody really happy because I'm gonna say they were right. Lyle was right. We're kind of a little bit in a rock paper scissors matchup meta, to where every once in a while you show up and you're like, I got paper. I'm gonna beat all the rocks, and everyone shows up with scissors, and you get thumped. And I think a lot of the things is rock is really good. Big monsters, knights with OC8, ability to hide, ability to maneuver around, decent close combat, decent shooting. They're going to keep winning events because, hey, guess what? If you're just relying on elite infantry, you can't out OC them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that. Meh. I don't know how I feel about that because you can still just beat. You can play a real army on that.
Ability to hide, ability to maneuver around. You can. I mean,
I'm literally trying to fix this as we speak. By the way, scissor me, daddy.
Because,
Jesus Christ.
Hey, guess what? If you're I mean, it's one of those things of. I think sometimes you run into matchups where they have a difficult time dealing with you. If you're able to pick up their anti-tank stuff very early in the game, and then you're just basically killing chaff and stuff that's designed to kill infantry, knights can win fairly effectively.
I mean, having a high OC is super big. So it's not echoey. It's well, I mean, it won't be echoey in 2 seconds. I was trying to literally listen to myself on YouTube to try to see if I can fix it. Yeah, that's true. Outside of Technology Brand's Arch Rival is any messenger app and responding. You're not wrong. What? I sent Hunter a message back after like 3 weeks, I think, because I just didn't even notice it because I get so many messages that I don't notice. Because I'm so bad at it. But I agree on the knights. If you have the answers, you have the answers. But I think that every army has to have some answers on this. And I know it's getting harder and harder for the armies to have all of the keys because of the fact that there's so much horde. There's big, giant toughness, things like knights, skews. We still have a bunch of Armor 2 armies out there between Grey Knights and the fact that we're seeing more and more Terminators. And you have to be ready to pop transports, man, and kill the guys inside. The World Eaters, Emperor's Children, hell, all the Death Guard leaks that have come out. You're going to have to be able to get people the hell out of rhinos. You know what I mean? There's some nasty shit inside those rhinos.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is that for some armies, there's stuff that kills knights, transports, and stuff like that isn't super reliable. So you take that stuff out, now they're just down to stuff that kills infantry, not super effective at killing vehicles. It's tough. So, I think that's one of the things that we're running into right now is, especially in singles, is guess what? Sometimes you just run into a matchup that you can I want to say auto lose, but have a very difficult time winning the game.
I'll give you that. It's just the thing is there's a couple things that I think are just super nasty. For one, I think Noise Marines for Chaos. If you're playing Chaos and you're not running Noise Marines, you're a crazy person. Like 3 units of 6 Noise Marines in Raiders jumping out of Rhinos are bananas. For a CP, they get full rerolls to hit and wound a target that's on an objective, and they just get +1 AP if you're shooting something on an objective. Also, why are you shooting stuff not on objectives? You know what I mean? Like that's pretty gross. GW saying you could take those was a big changer on that. I'm actually really excited to see what they give the Plague Marines to see if that's going to be something viable than just regular CSM. I think that CSM, the book itself, is getting a huge buff upgrade right now because they're going to be able to use Zerkers, Noise Marines, uh, rubrics, and whoever the hell I forgot. Uh, those are all getting a pretty big overhaul. So like that's a huge deal on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think the fact that the 4 units getting the big buffs, because we'll see rubrics get that buff as well, is going to be pretty key to keeping Chaos Space Marines relevant in the meta in a good spot. It's to me a little weird where things sit, because I've seen Noise Marines shoot and take out the world. I've also seen them not be able to pick up 20 Cadians. So
It's I don't know, some of those armies, like where would you put the power level right now? Because Emperor's Children, it's not like it's been solved, but you're seeing a lot of the same list coming out right away. The 2 Demon Prince, Lucius, Coco, 2 or 3 Exalteds, 3 Rhinos, 3 Noise Marines, 3 10-5-5 Infractors, 2 Tormentors, fill in the blanks, a couple random things. That army has some real legit bang to it.
and if you have infiltrate, deep strikers, things that can area deny, movement blockers, they don't pick up transports remarkably well outside of close combat. You can hone them in. Sometimes going first against them, you can put them in a rough position where they have to really choose and go after stuff to get to the objectives. And if you're running enough chaff, yes, they'll pick up your chaff in 30 seconds. But if you're running, mobs of guys, Death Korps Krieg 20-man squad, not super easy. They're killing stuff,
We
absolutely,
we have to
but you're
put
out OCing them at that point. So I think it's a really diverse meta where, in all honesty, any well-built army can show up and win.
yeah, you're talking about the coterie on that Zoobs, and I can understand that. I actually think that like while coterie is badass and it's probably the easiest and best to get off, some of those other detachments are legit, and I think you're going to see more of this as time goes on and people start
Mm-hmm.
having more counters, just like you're talking about, Brian.
Yeah.
So I don't know where it's going to be. I'm I'm debating on which one I think is going to come out of the gate stronger. Emperor's Children is very strong, but I actually think that CSM with just 3 units of Noise Marine is probably stronger than Emperor's Children. You're just taking their best things and going, "Hey man, I'm going to make these slightly better," and just throw down. But with that being said, this all the stuff we've seen for Korn and Nurgle, are they just better? Am I just getting excited because it's new, or what are your thoughts on that?
So my thoughts are, I think world leaders are really good. I also think Death Guard are really interesting and really good. I don't think, at least from watching the preview videos and reading all the stuff that GW is officially spoiled, they all seem to be viable. I mean, yes, is there stuff that's better than others? Absolutely. But I think all the Chaos armies right now that have gotten their update or in the midst of getting their update are very viable and very interesting. There's a couple different builds, especially for Death Guard, because I think they've got, I really think the bloat drones
Oh,
all
the
got
the shooty bloat drones are bananas, dude.
the
Holy shit.
huge, huge blow up on the bloat drones. And I think that gives them some of the really interesting movement that they need.
Well, also their
And
detachment. The detachment that you
yeah,
can put the afflictions on from range. You just the
mhm.
detachment you can just put two afflictions on somebody from range plays super well into that. You play 3 PBCs and 3 of the new bloat drone. The what I don't remember the name of it.
They still get predators.
Well, I'm saying you could play a
Yeah.
nine vehicle army, and
Yep.
you could possibly have Morty cruising around, offering some buffs on that, and some just definitely counterpunch. But like you can just put some of their afflictions are just gross now, especially
Yeah.
some of the strats they showed.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm gonna go to KR on this one. He goes, I thought World Eater players were all yelling they got nerfed. No, Angron's probably for me. This is obviously before it's even out. Is I look at that army and it has Angron isn't as badass and he's not as easy to come back and everything else,
Yep.
but you have so many more options to play the game as world leaders. It's not the same list go. Did you take knights or not knights? The first thing that comes to me is that Rhino detachment is has so many shenanigans in it.
The and the Berserker attachment looks so good. I,
Yes.
the ability to have 20 Berserkers with a leader that gives them buffs that can -1 damage, which makes them insanely durable, uh, is just going to be good. I mean, and yes, they're going to have a little bit of a CP want, but there's a lot there. There's so many different builds. I mean, the Berserkers and Rhinos, of course, is going to be crazy, and the ability for things to go through walls that couldn't go through walls before, like the Lord, the apparently the Blood Crushers, if I understood
Yep.
the article correctly.
Well, both of them have like
Um,
ways to just get around stuff. I mean, fuck it. If we're gonna go with that, we were already talking about Horde. Hey man, I just brought a zillion Goremongers and Jackals with a 4-up invuln on them with dose demon princes, coming in waves basically, a back demon
mhm.
prince and a front demon prince. Do you have enough guns to take care of that? The answer just might be no, especially with invuln. We've already seen. I mean, Randy's been making that crew detachment just smoke. With 18 rampagers, 6 crew docs, 120. I can't remember if it's 120 or 140 crew. You know, between the far stalkers and the regular crew, having an invuln on a horde army, we've seen it before. I mean, hell, ACDC, just the 3 units of them. You know what I mean? Gets played so much. Sometimes it's only the 2, but having an invuln and a Finn Pain makes those big units of guys just so much more durable, hard to deal with, and also just more fearsome because you're not just insta wiping them. So
Well, it's like one of my big things is I think that there's going to be a transition period. I think is what we're kind of in the midst of Horde's really good. Skew vehicle list, monster list, pretty good. Complete aggression lists, pretty good. But all three of those have a hard counter, right?
yeah,
Pure aggression list. Hey, guess what? If you're playing world eaters and you run into an entire fights first army,
it's not even just that. I actually think
yeah,
if you
you got to
world
find
leader,
ways around it.
you also have problems if they just run. If you run a pure horde list and you
Yep.
run and world leaders runs against it, hey man, enjoy killing 2 units of nonsense every turn. I heard you can't jump over me, so cool.
And I think it's one of the times where there's sometimes where you're just going to go, oh, that's not a good matchup. Can I mitigate a loss or can I figure out how to squeak out a win? And I'll use and one of my favorite people in 40K, Skari, as an example of he's not playing the strongest army, right? Drukari is not the strongest army. They have a lot of movement, they have a lot of shenanigans, and they have a lot of abilities that he takes advantage of and uses to the best of his abilities. And that's what everyone's going to have to do when they run into their bad matchup is go, all right, what can I do? How can I mitigate losses? What's the right trades? The same things you do in a normal game of 40K, except you have to do it more thoroughly, think a little bit further ahead, and be a little more cautious.
One of the biggest things I think you're going to have to do, I would rather have to play against the big shit and have less big shit killing and just have more volume because you can always get stuff like lethals and just the volume of dice rolled and just playing against it. You know what I mean? Against things like knights and stuff like that. Because I'd rather have to hold on, I'll just say shenanigans just to say shenanigans now because I've been told not to. But I'd rather, I'd rather uh, I don't want to lose to horde, and I don't, you know what I mean. And sometimes if you don't have enough, I don't care how many multi meltas you have, you're not killing a horde with multi meltas. You need volume, and I'd rather skew towards anti horde than I would anything else on that. So
I agree.
that's just a big deal on that for me. Both Eldari and Drakari, by the way, over the weekend did very well.
Yeah,
Seer Council jumped up too.
that doesn't surprise me. I think the Eldar book is so deep that there are so many builds in there, and it's just finding the ability to master them and get them figured out on the tabletop. It's one of the codexes that you just need time with.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a pick it up and play it, right out of the gate with no practice army. There's nothing that broken in there to where it's like, oh, this is obscene. It is movement based, making the correct trades, making the right choices, knowing when you can and can't score a secondary and when you need to ditch one, even though it's possibly doable,
Yeah.
so you don't take losses. And I know you're huge on them. I think it's one of the biggest skill armies, very much like GSC right now, to where you have to make the sound tactical decisions.
I agree on that. It's just it is a big deal on it, and I think that Eldar just teaches you to be better. To be honest with you, when they're not broken, they teach you to be a better player on it, and I like that quite a bit. They do still. That's an army though that does not want a horde meta out there. Eldar have never been super happy about seeing piss tons of models come out.
They also don't want an indirect meta either.
Indirect meta is something we don't talk about around here, Brian. That is bad, 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 bad. No.
Do you think they've effectively at this point kicked indirect to the curb? Because there's not a ton in lists anymore. There's a little bit here and there, but there's no army that really does a great job at it. It seems like it's kind of hit its balance point.
I was about to say that. I do not think they kicked it out. I think it's where it should be, which is it's not automatically busted. The problem is that every time indirect's too good, it sucks. I mean, when we had Hive Guard shooting 2-ups with rerolls, we had t-shirt cannons spilling out, you know what I mean? Even guard indirect, orc, when we had orcs come out, this is an edition ago, but orcs came out and had planes and indirect. Anytime it's too good, it always sucks. I think it's in a nice place right now, and I think that they shouldn't buff anybody that gets indirect should just hit on 4s, just like they're doing. I actually don't think you should get rerolls on it. That would make everything fine all the time,
It'd be okay with hitting on 4s if they get rerolls, if it wasn't high AP, high damage. If it's like a mortar, I'm okay with a mortar having in.
But there's going to be big indirect guns. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You're going to have your big boom booms with artillery. I don't mind big boom booms with artillery if they're not laser sighted blowing me up and I can't do anything about it.
I mean, hitting on is pretty much where we're at with the stuff now. I mean, so I think it's fine.
I had this conversation years ago with Stu, and he was like, why isn't everybody, if indirect's such a problem, why isn't everybody playing guard? And I go, because they hit on 4s with no rerolls at the time. You know what I mean? I'm like, no one cares about that. If you're just putting it out there and they don't have super consistency, you're fine. There's going to be up downs, you're going to have good games and bad games, whatever. That's what dice are for. It's just when you have consistency in indirect that it's super nasty. I love that we have Wolves and Death Guard coming out or on the list here, but they're definitely not on the list because they're not even going to be that real.
I mean, if Wolves, looking at the models, by the way, that they revealed today,
so good, dude.
Whoa.
You know what? I'm going back to there for a second.
I mean, they were spicy. I can't
spicy.
I can't say enough how happy I was I will fully admit to being a former Space Wolf player. I owned a huge army. I sold it off a while ago. Still a little mad at myself for doing that. But man, they finally nailed a few faces down to where I'm like, oh, those faces are amazing. Great paint jobs, really well put together.
I love it.
Logan looks angry.
Back, Brian, the water is warm. I mean, this dude's badass. I'm showing the lightning clock leader. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, The axe on Zuber pointed this out to me earlier because I hadn't really looked at it that intently until he pointed it out. That axe, whoo, oh, the paint job on it, the way it looks, I was just like that. That's sexy.
I mean, it just looks badass. I mean, these models look super cool. Yeah, you guys were talking about the colors on it, but like the models themselves look very woofy, very cool. I really want Space Wolves to go back to more of an infantry based army. Well, to be fair, I'm very biased on that because I like infantry armies, anyways. But I was never a huge fan of just like the Thunderwolf spam with some tanks. It's just when all the tales and the stories and stuff in the novels and most of the codexes are just these wild packs of guys led by different wolf lords and shit like that just beat the shit out of people.
Yep.
Bring
I
back
mean,
Commanders 100%.
I will fully admit to the. I was listening to the Gazgal Thraka book again because I just absolutely adore it, and I listened to where Ragnar, takes off the head of Gazgal Thraka, and I'm like, wait, don't I have the Ragnar book on here with that in it? And then I listened to one chapter of that and the other chapter of him, back to back, and was like, that's just fun from two different perspectives. But I digress.
It's a good book. The thing is, I love that. Like Ragnar came out and was just a psycho, and I really want the wolves. I'm hoping that they get more leader abilities so that people get leader abilities based on, or your units get leader abilities based on not just like a +1 or whatever. Because they used to be very unique in the things that you got, you know what I mean? So I just want more flavor in my books. And I know I give
I
GW
think we're
shit.
getting there. I
The
think we're getting there because
chaos
World Leader
books,
seems
agreed.
the World Leaders book, the Emperor's Children book, and Death Guard look a lot more flavorful than earlier books. I will say that it looks like
100%.
it is definitely on the upswing to where I'm going, yes, that is what I've been looking for.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The chaos books are making me very excited for stuff coming out. I hope that the wolves get the same treatment that we're seeing chaos, because I think that the armies look and feel very flavorful. You're
Mhm.
unique on that. I love the fact that they're putting out unique units. Sure, they might be just a different type, you know what I mean? But they're different sculpts. They have a lot of the same rules, but they're giving you the feel of the army, and I like that very big much.
I mean, the one thing I can say, especially looking at what they've announced for Space Wolves, like that's a full line refresh on
Gonna be
an army.
badass. Let me.
And that's something we all want to see is like we love our classic models. Don't get me wrong. I love the classics. But man, getting, hey, guess what? When I watched a game at the store, where guys playing Space Wolf Terminators versus Terminators out of the Leviathan box set, and I was like, oh, look at the difference in the size of those things.
Yeah.
And I was like, all of the Space Wolf Terminators had some great aesthetics and some nice pieces on them. Getting that upscale to where they're a little bigger, a little more, just sexy in many ways is a good, what I'm going to say. I'm excited to see, and I'm enjoying that they're doing that. I wish they did that with every army this edition. I wish they put that level of
Agreed.
commitment and psychic to it, but they can't do it all the time because we all would go completely broke.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
Let me go to the wall real quick. So, do you think Warhorde or Tactical Brigade is better for teams? Also, you guys rock. Thank you so much. Either, to be honest with you, it really depends on what role you're taking. Because Tactical shoots a little bit better and has a little bit more ability to play around stuff, but it has a lower floor than Warhorde does. Fight on death, -1 to wound, and uh, just auto explosions is going to always get sustained is always going to be fantastic. So Warhorde is probably the safer on that. Um, because of Logan Grimnar's release, Russ won't come this edition. I actually believe Barsati and I were talking about this quite a bit, and his theory is that they're not going to release Lehman Russ until 11th edition because Lehman Russ will require quite a bit of campaign style narrative about what he's going to do and why he's back. So I think that we're not, even though I want to see him badly in this edition, I think that when you bring Lehman Russ back, he's going to have a pretty big fanfare story going on with him. They brought back the Lion, but the Lion kind of is doing his own thing with the Fallen. turning, getting the Risen, and he's also going door to door, kind of fucking up Chaos and getting his guys back. So like, it doesn't have to be a huge story swing for that. But I think when you bring Russ back, uh, he's gonna go ham and start just doing banana shit. So
Yeah, I think the ideal thing is Vulcan at this
yes,
point.
I agree.
Yep.
Vulcan fits very well into the current narrative, and he also
Yep.
has to clean up all the people that got jacked up from Angron smashing the Coral engine. So I think that you're probably going to see that. Also, speaking of a sculpt that I desperately want to see, yes, I want to see a giant Vulcan who's legitimately a head taller than every other Primarch. I mean, obviously,
Yep.
Demon Primarchs are not that big, but I'm talking beforehand. He's a giant. Also, he is ebony. Those guys are dark as night. It's going to be so cool with the red eyes, and that, man, he's going to look badass. So I really want to see a Vulcan model. Come on, he's
And
Salamander fan too.
as they spoiled, they put out their teasers earlier this year, saying, "Hey, this stuff's on the roadmap." And it was clearly a salamander in there. That's my guess is they're going to do a supplement salamander. It'd be really neat to see them do something where they give something like what I consider to be like what should have been a great unit this edition. Infernus Marines might become really good in salamanders. I mean, those are those kind of things we want to see.
Yeah, I'm super psyched for that. Andy, talking about what we're going to do with the 40K Lorecast, we're definitely going to talk about uh, Lehman. But John and I both agreed that we wouldn't do a full episode again until he gets released. So it won't be for a hot minute. Because same reason I won't do another cast on certain armies that haven't gotten new books. Like, I don't want to do a cast on Votan, for instance, until Votan get their book, because of the fact that they left so much stuff just kind of out there on their lore. So, and
Did you read? Have you read their bits of lore that they've put in the Kill Team stuff?
yes, and that's the thing is I think that they're going to really expand on them once their book comes out because I was just about to say with the Kill Team they left all of those are like teaser trailers. They left a bunch of cliffhangers out with the new stuff that they're putting out for Votan, because they still have them. What are they? Where did they come from? What do they have? Because they have uh, effectively Men of Iron. You know what I mean? If you don't know
Mm-hmm.
Men of Iron are, go listen to the cast. So it's a big deal in that to look at that. So I'm very excited. I think we're gonna get Vulcan, then we're gonna get Lehman Russ in 11th. If you're gonna talk about primary
And the
stuff.
one thing I can say is everyone who's been I get this question consistently from a lot of players going, "Hey, do you know when the night book is coming?" And I can honestly say I don't know when Thousand Suns, Space Wolves, or Knights are coming. But if you look on GW's website as of today, the large Imperial Knights, not the biggest one, the Questoris, have all gone to sold out online.
Yeah, I was saying those guys are coming out. I'm I'm not a huge Knight fan, but I'm excited to see where they're going to take that with the houses.
Yeah.
There's more mojo going on in the Chaos Knight. Sorry, Imperial guys, but like as far as story goes, the Chaos Knight houses have some pretty awesome stories about why and how they fell. My favorite being the Chaos Knight house that fell because they basically went back in time. They had a whole time traveling story and they were getting attacked because of shit that they did because of a time travel thing. So it's fantastic. I agree, KR. Space Jesus is not coming back. Sanguinius is not coming back. You're going to get the Sanguinor. It's been teased semi, but it's more, I think, an empowered role for the Sanguinor because they also juiced up Mephiston quite a bit. Also, I don't know what they're going to do with Mephiston in the game itself because in the story right now, Mephiston just went to power level like 10,000. Uh, Holy shit. He should have bananas powers on the table right now. Also, Ryan, uh, Vulcan Heston should definitely get a goddamn deflux. Sorry. Uh, Vulcan Heston should literally get a new model. His model is so tiny. It's an
Yes.
old model. Whew.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at what they've done, like I will point this out with Nigel Stormcaller, his model was 110 years old. And that new sculpt they did for him did some damn good justification of him because he's got some fantastic lore. Um, it's if they're going to keep updating the Imperium stuff as they have been in the the little bits they've been updating for Chaos in this manner, I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's such good stuff. I'm looking forward to all this Wolf stuff, by the way. The Wolf stuff just looks sweet. They're putting out like a lot of really, really nice models. So I'm very juiced up about that we're going to be getting so many good new. I mean, you're just going to redo your army. Also, I want everybody to know the slay's stupid. It's always been stupid. I'm sorry, but those are facts.
Yeah, I'm glad it's gone.
Oof.
I don't mind saying goodbye to that. It was fun to have Santa Claus and see all the funny conversions and stuff like that, but I'm okay with that leaving, saying that it was destroyed and moving on.
Uh, Brian, did you say the Thunder Wolves were reboxed?
So they were recently reboxed. They got the newer box type. It's very difficult to say, but like on the end of the boxes, and I'm not on camera, I can show you because I have one of them here. But they updated to put the faction label on the end of the boxes, right? And the things that didn't, I haven't seen get that yet, were Wolfen and Fenrisian Wolves and the Space Wolf Terminators. Signs point to those are three things that are either getting redone or got done away with, and we know the Terminators are done. So I'm going to assume that the Thunderwolf are going to stick around. They wouldn't print and do new boxes to just get rid of them.
You know what? I'm putting up a super quick poll because we're going to have to rock and roll in a moment. What are you most excited for? Bam! World Eaters, Nurgle, Wolves, ow! Epper's Children.
You know what I can say I'm the most excited for?
Hit me.
100% hands down, the first weekend in June. The
4.
Lorecast Major. Come on out, play. If you are in the Midwest, you should be coming to the suburbs of Detroit, hanging out with us and playing some 40K.
It's going to be awesome. I need some help, everyone. Man, we have not gotten the support that we were hoping for yet. So I'm hoping that you guys will rock out. We're going to force enough people in here because I'm going to drag people from the West to play if I have to. But you guys got to come out and support it. Brian and I are going to be here. I don't even get to play in this thing, so I definitely need enough people to make it a real thing on this.
I mean, I'm driving out from New York with all the terrain, so I'm looking forward to coming out, showing off what the Salt City terrain looks like to everybody. Which the player pack is done.
Oh fuck! Zooms is right. We never did make it to BFS talk.
we did not make it to BFS talk. Sorry about that, guys. Had some early technical difficulties, but we will definitely talk FS. Hopefully, we'll get another day where my computer decides it wants internet.
Well, we could do some Thursday stuff. We could make it impromptu. Who's voodoo?
Yeah, we can definitely do something. We'll do something later this week, without a doubt.
I mean, I don't. I stream more than once a month. I record now, though. That's the thing. I've got the Lorecast, and I've been doing stuff with Alan, and I've also been popping into other people's. I've been on a Fallout and a Mass Effect stream lately, so I'm on a bunch of other stuffs. So I do know that the mic has worked every time perfectly, except for tonight. It worked yesterday. Literally yesterday, I had perfect audio. With that being said, like and subscribe. Help us out. We obviously have problems. We need the help.
We will definitely be getting back on this week talking about BFS teams. We'll put it up when we're going to do it later tonight or tomorrow morning.
And as always, thanks for chilling with us. We appreciate it. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Gents, it's time to rock and or roll.